Mr. Narayan, Professor Deepak Pendal, Mrs. Sushma Barlia, Mr. Ravi Gupta, distinguished delegates for this Higher Education Summit organized by Digital Learning, other invitees, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me congratulate the Digital Learning and all its partners for arranging an interaction of this kind. I'm also extremely happy to collaborate with Digital Learning in many educational and skill development endeavors during the last 3 years. These activities of digital learning about the use of ICT in different contexts, whether it be education, higher education, school education, vocational education, or governance, it has created a real awareness among education institutions. It has also created some sort of a synergy between education institutions and the corporates working in the area of information and communication technology. The topic of today's interaction or dialogue is about higher education. It's a higher education summit. Higher education cannot be separated from vocational education or school education for that matter. The challenge before the higher education in India is to provide, first of course, we call access. We have to reach large number of learners in this country, and we say that our gross enrollment ratio is around 12% of the 16 to 24 age group, 18 to 24 age group, and it has to be enhanced to 20%, or by 2020 it has to be around 30%. It is much, as of now, it is much below the world average of 23%. So technology definitely is the solution, no doubt about it. But access or enhancement of gross enrollment ratio will not happen just like that. Only when we improve the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom, the gross enrollment ratio will enhance. For the last 7 plans, I have been in the higher education system or in the universities in this country. Every 5 years, as part of the plan document or plan objectives, we used to say that we have to enhance the gross enrollment ratio from 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 and all that. But for the last 7 plans, we have been only limping, maybe that 1% extra, that just like that. The reason is that even though we establish institutions, we create facilities and all that, if the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom is not happening, students simply will not come to the universities and colleges. That's about that. So the first and foremost thing in higher education is to enhance the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom, and gross enrollment ratio will automatically happen, or enhancement will automatically happen. That is the experience all over the world. So how to enhance the quality of the teaching learning process in the classroom? Only by enhancing the domain knowledge of the teacher. If I know my subject, I will know how to teach it, I will know how to do it. So the first and foremost thing when we talk about improving the overall quality of higher education system is to improve the domain knowledge capabilities of the teacher first, and naturally, if the domain knowledge capabilities of the teacher is enhanced, it will be reflected in the classroom teaching. The learner will take it, and naturally, reach of education will also enhance. And the role of ICT, there is no need of emphasizing the role of ICT to an audience of this kind for that purpose. So, how a teacher can make use of ICT to teach his subject much more effectively, and then how a teacher can make use of ICT to make his best class, best teacher-learner interaction available to anybody, anytime, anywhere. ICT is the solution. Technology is the solution. Probably some of you might have read this year's chemistry Nobel laureate, Mr. Ramakrishnan's biographical sketch in The Hindu, yesterday and today, in 2 parts. He has published the biographical. He was narrating right from his school days, his Baroda University days, and his research, how he jumped from physics to chemistry to physics, biology to chemistry, how interdisciplinarity and transdisciplinarity happened, how the teachers motivated him. Right from he was narrating various incidents in the Baroda University classrooms, college classrooms itself. So how the teachers motivated this. So we have to look at contextualize the applications of ICT. We talk about ICT, and ICT technology is definitely showing results. But we also know that technology cannot teach, only teachers can teach. And therefore, the teachers have to be equipped with the appropriate technology. What is required in higher education is probably making technology more comfortable with the teachers. And if you just look at the technology used by the students, percentage technology used by the students and the teachers, we can very well see that the students make use of technology more than the teachers as of now. Then technology has to be utilized for different purposes. For example, to make the best content available to the teacher. The teacher has to, when we talk about higher education, we cannot also, I mentioned already, we cannot separate teacher education or school education from that, because if you just look at the quality of the teachers, the quality of the teachers will also depend on the domain knowledge subject area, and then coupled with teaching pedagogy. And this has to be, for example, technology enabled teaching and learning has to be part of the curriculum of the teachers. Recently, Professor Pendle was also there in Hyderabad. There was a meeting, a core committee was created with 7 vice chancellors to look at the teacher education and provide a curriculum, a 4-year curriculum, integrated curriculum for teacher education alone. So teacher education is going to be the major area which information and communication technology can help. I don't have to emphasize it further, because the Right to Education Act is already notified, it is in force. We need millions of teachers. We need millions of teachers for this particular primary education alone. But when it comes to primary education, after a few years, we have to think about the secondary education and post-secondary education, higher education. It has a cascading effect. So we have to look at the training of the pre-service teachers. We have to look at the capacity building of the in-service teachers, and then continuous competency and advancement of teachers. So what is required is some sort of ICT capabilities